Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this. I am the CHALL, and today, Chall Chats and previews Colchester United versus Doncaster Rovers for your Tuesday midweek. A win here puts Saturday entirely in our own hands, where we just have to avoid defeat. But Colchester is no mean feat. Now, before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers and 500,000 views. Let's get there as soon as possible, please. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at everything around this game as Colchester United host Doncaster Rovers. So, Colchester United, what are we talking about with Colchester? Well, they're under the stewardship of Danny and Nicky Cowley, the Cowley brothers, back in business. And they've been doing some really good stuff with Colchester for the back end of this season. That they came in at a time where they needed someone to keep them up, keep them in a position where they can still fight to stay in the league and keep their EFL status. And it looks like they're about to do that. All Colchester need in this game is a point, and they're staying up. So this is going to be a interesting clash between a Colchester United side need a point to stay to confirm safety, or just Sutton to lose, or against Doncaster Rovers team that pretty much need the win to kind of put everything in their favour, really, to be able to afford a draw on the last day to confirm a playoff spot. So it's going to be really interesting, this game. I think it's going to be a Colchester United side who, don't get me wrong, I think Danny Cowley will want to try and get the win if they can, but I think they'll try and at least play for a draw. So I expect Colchester to be very much like Forest Green in the first half, where they were very much compact in the defensive shape. They were very hard to break down, frustrating side to play against. They'll be very physical. And I expect nothing less. I expect nothing less from this particular Colchester team. So I think that Colchester are going to be one of those sides going to be really physical, hard to break down, and I think it's going to be really difficult to control. I think that they're going to control their own destiny in the first half. We've just got to keep up in that tempo in the second half, and as much as we can in the first half, and just go for it. We know that Colchester against Crawley and probably against Notts County as well have a team that is set up so that if they can run, they will run. So, they want very much a running team. They want a lot of pace, a lot of energy in that team, as well as the physicality and the control and the defensive shape. So they're going to probably go for a similar team to the Notts County game. I think that, overall for me, it's a really interesting case because I think Colchester, like I said, they've got some great players in there. In that side, and they've been performing well. I think they've won two out of their last. I think they've lost three out of their last five, but they've also won two in those five. So, it's been very up and down, but there's been a lack of draws in the last few games. Obviously, got a draw weeks ago, I think against Tranmere Rovers, but it's very much been win and loss in the last five games. So Colchester for me are going to be a very interesting side to come up against because, like I said, all they need is a point to stay up. And Danny Kelly's put some real fight in that Colchester team. And you know what? I said this on a space. And you know what? I'll say this again for anyone who didn't hear it. I think Colchester could be a really big dark horse next season. And the reason why I say that is because the owners have got no choice. The owners have got no choice. They have to back Danny Cowley with as much as they physically can. They've got to give him whatever he needs because Danny Cowley right now is the man who saved Colchester United this season. I think if it was someone else, if it was someone more inexperienced, I think we'd be seeing Sutton staying up right now rather than Colchester. So, Sutton's good form sort of came too little too late, unfortunately, by the end of it. And Colchester did what they need to do to stay up. So, for me, I think that Danny Cowley's put some real oomph back in this side, a real tempo in this side. They've got them fighting. They've got a reaction, and it feels like a new renaissance almost for Colchester United. And I really hope it continues because Danny Cowley's got a lot of success back in Essex. With Braintree Town, obviously, but those of you who remember the 2015-2016 Vanarama National League season where they got Braintree Town, a part-time Essex club, to the playoffs. They missed out through in the semi-finals, didn't get to the final at Wembley, but they did well to say they're a part-time club. And then, of course, the season after that season, of course, he leaves Braintree to go to Lincoln. He gets Lincoln up to the Football League, and Braintree get relegated that season. So, the Danny Cowley effect is still alive and well. And he comes back to Essex after the spells at Portsmouth, Huddersfield, Lincoln, of course. He's most successful out of those three. And Danny Cowley, for me, getting this shot at Colchester was the right thing. I think, it's an Essex club. He's had success in Essex. He knows the area. And for me, I think Colchester was the right fit for Danny Cowley. We all know the story about turning down Bradford City for a very specific reason. For me, I think that Colchester was a better fit than Bradford. And there'll be Bradford fans coming in the comment section saying, "Well, you're a Donny fan. Of course, you're going to say Colchester's better fit than Bradford." No, don't matter whether I was a Donny. If I was a Bradford fan, I'd be coming on here saying the same thing. If I were a Leighton Orient fan, I'd be saying the same thing. If I was a Fleetwood fan, even though we're relegated, I'd be saying the same thing. So for me, I think Colchester's a better fit than Bradford because geographically, I think it's perfect. But also for me, I think that um, long term, I think that he's the right man to get Colchester to where they need to be going forward. It's just the owners need to back him now. So team wise, then for Colchester, I'm expecting probably a similar team to the last game against Notts County. So for me, I think we're expecting one up front, probably a 4-5-1 style formation. So in goal, I've gone with Sam Hornby, a back four from left to right of Iandolo, Captain Hall, Harbottle, and Mingy. And then left to right across the front, I've got Richardson, I've got Reed, McGeehan, Fevrier, I've got Chilvers in there as well. And then I've got Tom Hopper up front. And then the bench would be fairly similar. I'd expect a fairly similar bench. I mean, the one kind of question mark going into that game against Notts County from Colchester fans were, of course, where was Matt J? Is he injured? Is he coming back? I've put Oscar Thorne on the bench just in case Matt J is still injured. That's where I'm kind of going with this. That's my kind of thinking process for it. Now then, for Doncaster Rovers, what team have I gone with for the Rovers? Well, I've gone with probably a similar team, really. So Lotus Tyler in goal, a right to left back position of Sterry, Olowu, Wood, and Maxwell. I've gone with Bailey and Craig as your midfielders. I've got Biggins as the number 10, starting over Westbrook. I thought Westbrook did okay, but I think Biggins should start this game, in my opinion. Molyneux and Adelaide can either side of him, and then Ironside up front. It is very, very harsh on Tom Anderson because he came on and did amazing. But if he can come on off the bench in the second half and do what he did in the second half against Barrow, it would be more than worth it. Anderson right now is that kind of impact sub where he plays almost like a ball playing midfielder, like a Carrillo type role in a way, with the change of shape. So I thought the change of shape did well against Barrow. I think we'll start off with the same shape we started off though in the first half, and we'll just go from there and kind of switch it around if we need to. Finally, then, what about my predicted scoreline? Well, then, Doncaster Rovers for me have been on a roll. They've been on a roll, and there's no denying that with the informed team, 9 wins on the bounce. Colchester right now need a point to stay up. We need kind of ideally 3 points to kind of put everything in our favour going into the final day against Gillingham away, which I cannot wait to go to, by the way. I can't wait to finally tick off the scaffolding stand. But for me, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to go with, in terms of the Colchester game, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. For me, don't get me wrong, I think Colchester will frustrate us in the first half, but I think second half will come out all guns blazing and we'll get the 2 goals needed. Whether it's Molyneux, Ironside, Craig, Maxwell again. Anderson deserves a goal. I think Big O needs another one. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. I'm fairly confident about this one. I'm not going to rule out Colchester because Colchester, for me, are still a dangerous side, but I'm going to stick with my prediction. I'm going to go with a Donny win, 2-0, clean sheet for Lotitala. I think Colchester will be frustrated in the first half, but I think they'll have a lack of clinical cutting edge. And for me, I think that could see us out. especially getting a couple of goals in the meanwhile. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. I think I predicted a 2-0 for the last few games now, but I'm going to stick with it this time. I might change my prediction for the Gillingham game on Saturday, but there we go. But there we go, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching this match preview. Stay tuned for a potential press talk for this game as well. If not, there'll be a press talk for the Gillingham game on Friday. Whether I'm on my own or not, I'm not too sure yet. I will confirm that on social media. By the way, all of my social media links are in the description down below as well, so go check it out. Where you can stay tuned to any updates about the channel going forward. But thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. I am the CHALL Terror for now, and that's full time.